Hey guys, you're up John coming at you with another Infinite Magicraid video. This one is going to be a kind of a quick one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the wishes and the wish event we have currently with the Miracle Wishes. You will notice that two of the champions on the Miracle Wish roster are new champions that were not added to the lineup until very recently. So let's go ahead and we're going to cover them, talk about them. I'll give you my opinion of them, maybe like a general rough grade, and then we're going to head and we're going to talk about which one I'm going to go for, and then we're going to summon and see if we get anything. All right, so as of recording this is actually within 11 minutes of the event going live, so this is super fresh. Let's see if we can't use that a little bit of RNG to our benefit here. So first, let's go ahead and talk about these new characters. So the first new character we're going to talk about is going to be Olga. Now, Olga is an attack champion. She's a red mark here, and she also is a Holy Light Parliament. Now, something to note on her kit that I really like and I really think is cool is the fact that her ultimate here, even though it's a 5-turn cooldown, book down to 4, damage-wise, it's going to be an additional, 45% damage here, which if we multiply that out, right, so it's 4 stages of 100%, which that makes that actually 100% plus 45, right? So that's actually 4 stages of 145 when you're booked out, times 4, which then turns into a 580 damage, right? That's a significant amount of damage. That's pretty good for a single target nuker. The thing to also note is the fact that if you keep reading her kit here, she actually has, or she reduces the target or enemy's turn meter by 15% each. Meaning each one of these attacks is going to reduce the turn meter, right? Now, this is actually just for the first 3 stages, so this means you're going to be reducing the enemy's turn meter by 45%. That's pretty significant. And we're going to talk about that more in just a minute when we get to our exclusive as well. Also, you'll see here in the 4th stage, it inflicts silence. Now, silence isn't necessarily the best thing in the world, but it's pretty good. It helps, especially if you want to lock down a character. Let's say you have a failed nuke. Or let's say you have a successful nuke and the first 3 hits kill that person and the 4th hit goes to someone else and silences them. That's 2 great outcomes. So ultimate starts off really, really strong. Speed is actually above 1,000, which is pretty decent as well. Take out that calculator so you can see it. Speed is over 1,000, not bad. All right, moving on to the passive skill. Olga takes 25% less direct damage when she is attacked by heroes with countered mark. Olga has a 18% chance to pursue an attack 1 time after an ally casts skills that deal damage proactively. So what you can see here basically is she can do kind of a counterattack while she's engaged after a counterattack type deal. Passive wise, this is a little lackluster, but not necessarily the worst thing I've seen, right? I'm okay with it. I think this could be definitely, it seems PvP driven. We'll put it that way. It seems definitely PvP driven. All right, next we have is Sacred Winds. Grants self-damage immunity and control immunity for 1 turn, then pursues and attacks 1 enemy targets under control status 1 time. So basically what happens is she's going to go ahead and she's going to grant self-damage immunity. So she's not going to take any damage, right? And she's going to also cast control immunity. So what's going to happen is she's going to be essentially unkillable, right? For 1 turn. And then she's going to pursue and attacks 1 enemy target under control status 1 time. So at this point, then she's going to go and she's going to search out someone who's stunned, whatever the case may be, and attack them, right? This is somewhat circumstantial, but the fact that you have basically an unkillable for 1 turn is going to be awesome, right? It's going to be really, really good. The other thing here is it pursues and attacks 1 more enemy. So basically, she's going to be able to, say you pair her with the right kit or the right champions on an arena team, she's going to be able to attack the entire team once you have her fully booked, and then it becomes a 3-turn cooldown. Once again, we're going to come back to her exclusive here because I think that's what's going to set her apart with this ability. Her basic ability is deals 220% attack damage to a single enemy if the target has an attribute buff. Additional increase the damage by 25%, which is pretty good. If the target is under control status, additionally increase 50% damage instead. So her kit synergizes a lot by if the enemy is doing some sort of control status on them, and that makes her really OP, right? As far as single target damage nuker. On top of that, with her turn meter manipulation, that's also pretty solid with the damage she does. Now, the really nice thing about this is when you go to exclusives, you see her first exclusive is great. It extends the duration of damage immunity and control immunity to 2 turns. Also, Olga acts 1 extra turn after casting it. So not only when you proc what is this, Sacred Winds. So we go over here and we talk about Sacred Winds. So not only when you proc this, do you get a chance to attack all the enemies, right? So let's say you book this and you get an exclusive on her. So she's going to now have unkillable for 2 turns. She's then going to go ahead and, as part of the first initial turn, right, she's going to go and attack all the, like, up to the entire lineup. On top of that, when she's exclusive, she now gets to take 1 more turn, which then at that point, that reduces the cooldown over here, maybe reduces the cooldown over here. There's some synergy that could really allow her to do a lot of damage quickly when she is just at an E1 state. Now, as we keep going up here, you'll see here E2, Olga deals 20% more direct damage to internal sect and Doom Legion enemies and takes less from them. Olga pursues and attacks targets 1 time after casting Lightforged Arrow. This one's kind of, it's okay, it's notable, but I think it's minimalistic, not one to really shoot for. Number 3, Lightforged Arrow. The first 3 stages reduce turn meter by 25%, so that's a 75% turn meter manipulation. If the target's turn meter is 0, when the 4th stage deals damage, the inflicted silence inflicted cannot be removed for 2 turns. So basically, if you null out someone's turn meter with this ability with an E3, then that person is actually going to be silenced for 2 turns, which means they can only basic attack for 2 turns. That is very, very impressive, and it can't be removed, so you can't cleanse it either. That's amazing. So as far as E3 goes, that's going to make her a much, much stronger champion. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about the next one. The next one's going to be Teru. Now, Teru is going to look similar to Gru, or maybe not look similar, but the kit is going to look somewhat kind of familiar to you. All right, when we talk about the ultimate here, there is a 40% chance to inflict Intertwined on all enemies for 2 turns. Afterward, deal damage to all enemies by 12% of Teru's max HP. The more targets with Intertwined, the higher the damage dealt by the skill. Up to 16% of Teru's max HP. This cannot land a crit. So the things to note here is, one, you cannot crit here, and that's okay. A lot of these champions who scale with max HP and they use these types of mechanics, you don't necessarily want them to crit. You really don't. It doesn't actually benefit you a whole lot to have them crit because of the way that it's stacked up. Well, I mean, it would benefit you, but let's just be honest, it'd be a little broken. Things to note here. 1, I think this is a little low. 40% chance to inflict Intertwine, even though it does get booked up to a 70%. Which Intertwined is great. It's basically it's a control debuff that changes the stun after 2 turns. It's pretty good in my personal opinion. I'm not opposed to it. But what I don't like here though is the single fact that is RNG. The next thing about this is if they have Intertwined, the higher damage dealt with the skill. That's, once again, we're talking about, okay, some RNG, if it's going to land, if it's not going to land. It's 12% of Teru's max HP. He does have a high max HP over here, like 8,600 for starting, which isn't terrible either. So you can definitely stack him with a lot of HP, depending on what gear you put on him, especially if you just go balls to the wall with the HP. So he does have potential to do damage, but unfortunately, we're starting out pretty RNG based. Now, let's go ahead to the next one. The heal granted by Teru additionally restores Teru's HP by 1% of max HP. Once again, we haven't seen the heal yet, but now we know he has a heal, and when he does heal, he's also going to get 1% max HP back, okay? Teru grants all allies a shield by 5% of max HP. So this could be good. I mean, 5% seems a little low, but it's still it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, right? For 2 turns, when any enemy target is inflicted with stun by Intertwined, up to 1 layer of shield. So basically, as you keep landing all these Intertwined on all the enemies, he can keep proccing and proccing more and more shields, which is definitely impactful. It can help out a lot, especially if you have a way to cycle them through, or if you have another character on your roster that's also placing Intertwined. This could definitely help. All right, moving on, you have his A2, which is where that heal is going to come into play. Grants all allies consolidation 1 and 1 layer of heal for 2 turns. Consolidation is like damage mitigation. Heal, you know what that is, right? It's 5% HP max. Note that Teru himself is going to increase by 6%, not 5%, because of his passive. This is booked down to a 4-turn cooldown. It's kind of meh. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. Last but not least, it's going to be his A1. Deal damage to a single enemy by 10% of Teru's max HP with a 20% chance to inflict 20 Intertwined. Once again, this 20% becomes a 30% chance when fully booked. And the max enemy, or the ceiling damage by 10% of Teru's max HP, that actually becomes 12% once fully booked. It's it's not terrible. He also grants a terror grants himself 1 layer of heal for 2 turns whenever he successfully inflicts intertwined. So he can keep. He has a lot of sustain for himself. Let's put it that way. He's never going to crit. You're literally going to build him with HP. He's going to be a full HP and speed champion. That's it. No crit damage because it doesn't matter. HP is going to be the name of the game, and you're just going to stack it as high as possible, which is going to be helpful because it's going to be tanky. It's going to be beefy. Overall, his kit's okay. I would not give him a super high goal or range, but as far as sustain goes, it's going to be decent. When we talk about his exclusives here, you have additionally grants through Consolidation 2 and a shield of 20%, that's better. That's much better. To restore self HP by 4% of max HP whenever an enemy target is inflicted with intertwined. Once again, talking about that sustain, the constant HP regeneration. Level 3. Stun can be triggered by 1 turn after intertwined is inflicted by an ally on an enemy when Teru survives. There's a 50% chance to inflict stun on the target for 1 turn when their intertwined is cleansed. Okay, if stun is successfully inflicted, grants all allies a shield. Interesting. So he can trigger 1 turn after intertwined is inflicted by an ally on an enemy. Interesting. Okay. I think this is kind of circumstantial for an E3. I don't know if this is really worth it. I really don't. So far, I mean, I'm not sold on Teru. I may be missing something, but I'm not sold on him. Olga is decent for a new champion for sure. I would give her probably a 7 out of 10 for her kit, especially for PvP. We have Mutu. Mutu is probably the strongest one out of this whole kit. Unfortunately, I don't like that it's a skill switch, which means that it's going to be one of those fights where it could be a longer one or maybe not as long, which then kind of limits the amount of damage you're actually going to get out of him. Lamb, is just toxic in arena. And then we have Dario, also toxic in arena. I'm not really going to cover the epics because unfortunately none of these exits are, or blah, blah, blah. None of these epics are just amazing, right? But overall, we're going to try for Mutu. I only have 17 charts, so I doubt I get anything great. But for general purposes of Legos and what they're concerned, we're going to try to go for Mutu. I'm going to pull 17 charts. We're going to see what we get. And hopefully, worst case scenario, I get some food. I'll definitely take that for sure. All right, let's go ahead and go. So we get, let's see a legendary. So we got the Make-A-Wish. We already go ahead and we're going to accomplish the daily goal. Let's see what we get. Anything good? We got an epic. Okay, not a new epic, but we got an epic. I don't recognize this one. Mori, okay. Confirm. We have 7 left. Go ahead and pull the last 7. Like I said, I don't expect to see any gold here, but you never know. Either way, it's definitely food. Definitely food. Let's see what we can get. Okay, Zold. Keep moving. Vicely, another epic. I'll probably use her for food. She's not terrible. She's not terrible for her faction Wizard Eyes. I could have actually used her if I want, but since I'm free to play, I don't want to start handicapping myself, so to speak. I need to get some percussion going. Okay, and we got 2 left. Dorsal. Let's keep going. Can I get another epic? I could use a little bit more food. That'd be helpful. Liwar. Okay, so if I don't get a legendary here, at least give me an epic for some food. Let's make up for it with food. Let's go. Whatever. I mean, it's still food. It's 3. It's a 3-star. So 17 shards. Obviously, I didn't think I was gonna get anything, but I did want to to talk about it. So not terrible, not terrible. We'll take it. We'll see if we craft something here. If we can, this gets us closer to a whole goal here for food consumption. 3, 4, and actually we'll do this guy 5. All right, that's cool. So that's actually 2 5-stars today for me. So that means I need 1 more to get my champion empire. That's not bad. I'll take it, especially if you guys watched my video earlier this morning, because it's going to be a double upload. If you watched the one this morning on the free-to-play succeeds for day 15, you'll know that the goal right now is to get all the food that I can to actually progress my champions. So that definitely helps me quite a lot by getting that food. Let's see. We also got, we got hero training rewards. Okay. We'll definitely be trying to finish those out here soon. We have Miracle Wish goals. I do like the goals. Ooh, we got an egg. I'll take an egg. You never go wrong with eggs, right? Obviously, if you do a lot of Miracle Wishes, you can get a couple of 4-star eggs. That's pretty good. And ooh, 5,000. This seems a little pay to win. Seems rather paywall there. So don't get sucked in. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We got a little bit of summons, gave us a little bit more food. We went ahead and we covered the 2 new units, as far as also the 1 unit that I would be going for if I had more Miracle Wishes myself. Obviously, everyone's count is going to vary a little bit differently. If you're a PvP character, PvP type person, or even guild boss oriented, maybe Lamb, maybe one that you want to go with other than Mutu. But I do think Mutu is probably pretty solid to get actually for your general count. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.